The story begins in a classroom, where a female high school student named Hinana tries to ignore her classmates' screaming as they obsess over a popular charming actor named Kaede Ayase, who used to be in an idol group. Hinana appears to be a diligent student who strives for higher grades and assists her younger sister at home. That's what her peers and family see, but what they don't know is that Hinana dreams of a dashing Prince Charming who will sweep her off her feet like Kaede Ayase. One day that fantasy materializes when Ayase visits their school to shoot a film, and Hinana, a member of the student committee, will appear in it as an extra. At their initial meeting, Hinana gushes with delight at the sight of Ayase. She learns from their unplanned second meeting that Ayase likes to observe schoolgirls and has a butt fetish. She tries to get away when he spots her but stumbles, so he checks her as well, causing her to dash away from him. From that moment on, Hinana seems to have left a mark on Ayase as he followed her at an arcade and helped her get a toy out of a crane machine. Schoolgirls discovered Ayase's presence and forced them to flee the arcade. Ayase follows him to her favorite movie theater, even though she attempts to get away from him to watch a romantic film there. He learns that Hinana loves fairy tales and dreams of having her own happy ending. He offers his own shoes to Hinana after noticing that they are damaged. The following day, as Ayase approaches Hinana's classroom, her classmates start screaming uncontrollably. Then, exactly as in fairy tales, he stoops to put on the new shoes he bought her. Ayase gives Hinana his number in the hopes that he will give her name, and despite her best efforts, she becomes overly optimistic. When she discovers the number is not operational, she experiences heartbreak. Just as she was about to give up on Ayase as her Prince Charming, he tries to stop her and kisses her while wearing his mask. He tells her not to anticipate a perfect story before officially asking for her name and inviting her on a date with him. Hinana is brought to Ayase's room on their first date. While they are eating, Ayase notices how Hinana consumes the fish and seems to be growing fond of her. Then they watched a movie together, and Ayase pretends to have fallen asleep on her shoulder. Ayase wakes up and pins her to the sofa after she tries to stroke his hair. He was going to kiss her with her eyes closed, but he hesitates. Shaj, his manager, then enters the room and asks what's going on. Ayase introduces Hinana as his girlfriend, and she cannot believe it but refuses to go against his word. It was going well until Shaj realized Hinana is just 16, which could be scandalous for Ayase. The next day, Hinana is still in shock that she is his girlfriend. Meanwhile, her childhood buddy Akira and best friend Run witness everything from a distance and assume it's about a boy. Hikari taunts Akira, who appears to have feelings for Hinana for the longest time. At the flower shop, grandmother remarks on how Akira and Hinana look like a beautiful couple. Akira earns his confidence and attempts to give Hinana a hint about his affections, which Hinana dismisses. Hinana then needed to deliver flowers to a location, and surprisingly saw Ayase performing a dramatic scene with a pretty actress and ended it with a kiss. Ayase recognizes Hinana and tries to walk away from him. When asked if she was bothered with what she saw, Hinana honestly lets him know that she was moved by his acting. Shu, Ayase's leading woman, watches and overhears this from afar while he gives her a small nip to the nose as a reservation that he will be her first kiss. Hinana informs Ayase the following morning that she would be celebrating her childhood friend's birthday at home. Run boosts Akira's confidence so that he might confess tonight, but Ayase arrives, and they are shocked to see him on Hinana's doorstep. Ayase notices Akira and Hinana's closeness throughout their meal. Akira confesses his feelings for Hinana to Ayase, while Hinana and Run prepare their supper, letting him know that he is not giving up. After dinner, Ayase shows envy for Hinana's closeness to Akira, and wishes for a similar moment alone with her, as well as his desire not to lose her. The next day, Hinana pays him a visit and is astonished to discover him covered in his towel. He then teases her to dry him, and Hinana, ever the conservative, blows dry his hair while sitting on the sofa. He then opens a musical book and tells her it's for a movie he's working on. Hinana explains she used to play the piano but stopped due to financial difficulties. She then urges him to trust in the process of practicing so that he might improve. Ayase hands her a key to his room and tells her she is welcome to see him at any time. Hinana is delighted that their relationship seems to be moving in the manner she wants it to. She then leaves to pick up her sister. Her mother notices how pleased she is and wonders if she may talk about it soon. Hinana's insecurities grow at school as she also learns through Run that Ayase dated Shu for 2 years. Run advises that she changed her appearance for Ayase so that she can compete with her. Ayase recalls his memories with his idol group in his room. He obviously had regrets about how things turned out. Hinana is preparing to visit Ayase and surprise him while putting on lipstick. She dashes out of the room after seeing Shu and Ayase kiss just as she enters. Ayase tries to stop her, but Hinana communicates her insecurities by telling him that Shu is a better match for him. Ayase dismisses her and returns to his room, where Shu persuades him to pick up where they left off. Akira checks on Hinana the next morning. When Akira notices her lying in bed, he attempts to get her to get herself together and stop crying over Ayase. He eventually works up the strength to reveal his affections to her, but he feels it is too abrupt, so he leaves. She was taken aback because she had no idea Akira liked him. At school, she notices Shu waiting for her. Shu tells Hinana to stop seeing Ayase since they want to start dating again. Hinana then admits that she's much prettier than her, and that she's nothing in comparison to her. She then admits how much she likes Ayase, and how she can't stop thinking about him. Shu mocks her, telling her that Ayase rejected her, and that she was a fool to let him go after that dumb kiss. Hinana pays Akira a visit at the flower store to confess that, while she is delighted that Akira likes him, she has deep affections for Ayase. Akira gives her a flower to show that he understands and does not want her to be sad. As Ayase stands in front of their home, apologizing for the incident, Hinana is startled to see him. They both openly admit their affections for one another, and while acknowledging their differences, they still choose to stand by each other. The next morning, Ayase invited her to the amusement park and reserved it for them. They spent the entire day enjoying the time of their life. When it was time to leave, Ayase held her hand and interlocked their fingers exactly as she had requested. He tells her that he will support her if she wants to play the piano or anything she wants. He invites her to close her eyes, and as Hinana anticipates a kiss, he puts on a fairy-tale-like necklace. As her 18th birthday approaches, Run provides her with a skin regimen as a birthday gift. As she was getting ready that morning, she noticed terrible news on TV about Ayase's girlfriend, a high school student, which would destroy his career. She becomes distraught and rushes to visit him to apologize, but her mother prevents her. Contrary to what is being reported, she claimed that Ayase had been kind to her. Her mother hugs her, letting her feel that she understands her frustration. Meanwhile, she hands Ayase a piece of paper with remarks he must deliver to the media in order to deny Hinana as his girlfriend. He informs Shaj that though he is aware of the consequences, he wishes to remain at her side anyway. Shaj then requests that Hinana quit having feelings for him because this will mark the end of his professional life. He was no longer able to sing, therefore his only option was to become an actor. He reveals that Ayase had belonged to the group Funny Bone, but that during their nationwide tour, he experienced a sudden throat condition that he hid from his band and that grew worse. Shaj wishes Hinana would be supportive of Ayase's aspirations to be an actor. They soon meet at the movie, and Ayase apologizes for being away. Hinana acknowledges and thanks Ayase for being her first love, and says how grateful she was to be a part of their fairy tale relationship, which would now come to an end. She immediately flees, and Ayase realizes how difficult this was for her because it was her birthday. Ayase then organizes a press conference, admitting to falling in love with her and condemning himself for his actions. He then tells the press that he would work hard for his career and will no longer visit her. When Hinana hears this, she flees and cries outdoors, while Akira tries to console her. Meanwhile, one of Ayase's bandmates pays him a surprise visit. He attempts to cheer himself up by assuring Ayase that whatever occurred before will not harm his friendship with him. After 3 years, Ayase finally received an award at the International Film Festival of Barcelona, which is unusual for Japanese actors. Shuj discovers a letter from someone and hides it from Ayase, while informing him about a party he'll be hosting tonight. On the other hand, Hinana has pursued her passion for playing the piano. She was then seen with Akira giving her a movie ticket as a birthday present. Hinana was so happy and couldn't wait to watch it tonight. At Ayase's party, Ayase offers a gratitude speech to everyone, including his former bandmates. Shaj regrets withholding the letter and offers it to Ayase, who is thrilled yet missing a part of himself. The unexpected letter was from Akira, writing to him about Hinana and telling him how much she still thinks of him in all she does. She sees him everywhere she goes, watches his movies, and even learns his compositions. She needed him, even though Akira found it difficult to accept it, so she purchased him a ticket, the same one she had given Hinana for her birthday, to the same theater where they used to watch movies together and where their love ended. Shaj, being the thoughtful manager that he is, provided a distraction and performed a song in front of Ayase so that he could escape when he hurried to leave, but his friends blocked his path. When he got to the cinema, he thought it was too late, but just as he was leaving, he sees her behind. Hinana couldn't believe who was in front of her. Ayase confesses how even after all the things that happened, he realizes he still needs her and wants to be with her always. He gave her the gift that would complete their fairy tale ending, a pair of glass shoes. Finally, they kissed at the stroke of midnight and will probably live happily ever after. Thanks for watching. If you like the content, give a like and subscribe for more videos. See you next time.